Hey folks, everything new under the sun, a Sunday broadcast. I just want to do a quick update on the aftermath of the violence, the protests that had been going on in Gaza. There was a lineup of artillery, tanks, IDF, military in general, and it looks like things have calmed down again. So Hamas eluded IDF payback. They eluded a massive major retaliatory strike by having the violence on Friday and then showing significant restraint, basically coming in under the radar enough on Saturday that the IDF didn't feel it was necessary or publicly acceptable at that point for them to do a major strike on Gaza. And so that's probably very calculated by Hamas. This is from debka.com, military intelligence website. The Gaza scam: Hamas eluded IDF payback by its main assault on Friday night, then showed restraint on Saturday. So this is March 30th, yesterday. While announcing a big anniversary march on Saturday, March 30th, Hamas caught Israel by surprise Friday night, when a 240 firebomb blitz was aimed for 5 hours at Israeli troops by just 200 Hamas terrorists. It says Hamas then proceeded to stage a restrained event at the scheduled time Saturday. So they did their big thing when Israel wasn't quite ready Friday, and then did a restrained event, at which point IDF kind of lost their chance, their opportunity to go back with it with a good excuse against Hamas when they were lobbing the fire bombs effectively. Bracing for the worst the next day, the IDF Friday night was satisfied with firing just 3 tank shells at a Hamas position. People living in the vicinity of Gaza report that on Friday night, the earth and the walls of their homes shook as never before under the impact of ferocious Hamas blitz. Since the main event was still ahead, Israeli officials and commanders were satisfied with a muted response. But, it says, the fierce assault that the night before enabled Hamas leader Sinwar to strut at the head of 40,000 Palestinians Saturday and claim victory in the contest. Basically, they did their thing Friday instead of doing it Saturday like they were said, and the IDF assumed they were going to do a bigger thing, bigger process on Saturday, so the IDF didn't strike back in any significant fashion, and then they come out Saturday very restrained and claim victory about the Friday demonstrations apparently. So I guess it's a marketing ploy, it's a strategy by Hamas to look good, so it's kind of funny, to be honest. Israel is now on trial, the Sinwar said. He told cheering masses, "Next year's March of Return demonstrations will be nothing like this year," he shouted. I don't know whether that means bigger or less. I don't know. Since by Saturday, the main event was relegated to the past, and Israel's reprisal was a non-event at that point. And at that point, they couldn't do anything because they would be seen by the world as escalating something that had already stopped effectively. Hamas could claim credit for staging the March of Million with restraint, its operatives conspicuously scurrying about in the crowd and pushing them back from the Israeli border fence, it says. 3 Palestinians were killed by Israeli fire and scores injured. The terrorists could signal the Egyptian truce brokers that they had behaved reasonably. So they're coming out of this, the terrorists, Hamas is coming out of this and saying, look, we had restraint, we didn't do any big thing, but then they're selling to their own people that the big thing was Friday and that they didn't, Israel didn't want to do anything about it, basically. It says this Hamas scam was the epitome of low, malign cunning. If Israel and IDF prove willing to swallow the humiliation meted out by the prize Golani and paratroop units by the Palestinian terrorists without the appropriate response, they should not be surprised to find people starting to believe the lie propagated by Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah that the IDF is no longer fit for ground combat and its commanders are afraid to send troops into battle. It's an interesting situation there, a bit of a mind game, a strategic play by Hamas. Israel's probably just happy that they don't have to do anything major, although they, if they want to go in there and take care of business, they're kind of looking for the right opportunity where the world's not going to say that they're going in uncalled for or using unequal force against Hamas. So it's almost in Israel's interest that Hamas start the fight so that Israel can fin it. That's really kind of the best way to put it. They want Hamas to throw the first punch, and then IDF can finish it off. if there's no first punch and the IDF goes in there, then the whole world looks at Israel and says, you're going in there and you weren't provoked to go in there, so you're in the wrong, Israel. And so that's what Israel's always been doing, basically taking the first punch and then finishing the issue after the fact. But in this case, Hamas strategically kind of threw a little bit of a slap in the face to Israel. It wasn't the first punch. Israel decided not to go in because something bigger was going to happen Saturday, and then they didn't. And then Hamas didn't do anything big on Saturday anyway. So a bit of an update there for you. Continued tensions, continued IDF lined up on the border with in Gaza. And this will only be increasing as it gets close to the elections. I'm sure there's going to be more rocket fire, etc. happening. So thanks for watching. I'll leave it there, guys. Also, thanks for subscribing. I just surpassed the 16,000 subscriber mark. So that's pretty amazing. To be absolutely honest with you, I'm amazed and overwhelmed by the interest, really, in the subjects and in Bible prophecy. It speaks to me that people are hungry for Bible prophecy. So please share it around. People need to hear that the Lord's coming soon. I don't have all the answers. The Bible does have all the answers, and I may not be right in everything, but we should all be looking for the soon return of our Lord Jesus Christ. Maranatha, folks. We'll see you guys in the next video.